What's happening? What's up? What's good and what it do? Elegant Soul Food, Consecration Baby, stopping by to talk about this season. So I'm playing music, so I hope they don't shut my video down. I'm not trying to promote or say that I own the rights to anything. Even before I really started to like tap into spirit and to be aware or conscious and acknowledge that, that we're supposed to be having these experiences with spirit. I always noticed that it was just something about this time of the year, these traditional holidays, wherever you may be in the globe, wherever you are in the globe, and whatever holy days that you recognize in your culture, in your belief, have you noticed that there's just like high energy with the spirits during those holy celebrations? Now, holy celebrations can be the birthday or the transition anniversary of your loved ones, your ancestors, known and unknown, because you'll start to have this feeling before you even get tapped in, and then as you follow the path and become more in tune with the spirit world and dwelling there and allowing those visits and revelations to come and sit with you, and you hold them dearly, right? As a learning opportunity, right? You realize that you've always felt this way at a certain time. I'm on a journey. I'm getting ready to embark on doing some research with my unknown elders that are spirit guides for me. And I hope I find out like the month that they were born. I seen the year doing the DNA testing, the ancestries, various ancestries. I did three different ones. I just want to see how that links up with what I know and what I've experienced. Again, I'm going to start journaling like a crazy person because these spiritual uploads and downloads and visits have just been off the chain. And I just wonder if anybody else is experiencing or can relate to what I'm saying. I'm going to speak a little bit about the traditional holidays, like in America, um, and the way God was introduced to us, and the way holidays were imposed upon us in this country, right? Whether you were connected or disconnected at an early age from it, there still was something about it, even if it was just because one person you knew spark something in you about that holiday, right? Or about that holy day, or about that acknowledgement, or about that event, whether it's the feeling, whether it's the camaraderie, whether it's the fellowship, whether it's the food, right? It's always something that just leaves that energy. So, as we talk about our dearly departed, man, I want to say that this season extends beyond these holy days or whatever. I just want to say, like the last, maybe it's just me, the last 5 or 6 years, but definitely I notice it quite a bit around this season. You'll notice that, like in the natural, people you used to kick it with, people you used to hang out with, whether they're friends or ex lovers, they start coming out the woodwork during the holiday time, right? The same thing happens in the spirit realm. It's like visits just started coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. And I think it's a beautiful thing that they just come by to say, "What's up? How you doing? Want to walk with you? Want to talk with you?" But also, I think it's important to acknowledge that those messages um, from that realm are key, and sometimes they're connected to the people here that are trying to connect with us. They're um, cosigns, their visions, their premonitions, their affirmations, and man, the list just goes on, right? Sometimes they'll trigger feelings, right? These visits trigger village. Oh my God, they trigger emotions, right? Whether it's surprise, happy, sad. Hopefully, it's not fear, but sometimes it might need to be fear. Surprise, happy, sad, fear. I'm gonna stay in those realms. I'm not gonna go anywhere else because hopefully the energy and the frequency, if you're tapped into these videos and you come to this channel, hopefully that means that your frequency is higher, that you are finding ways to cope with the low frequency. Not to say that those things don't happen, because change happens. It goes and it flows and it goes up and down. You might dip, but then you level yourself out, right? You don't just dip and just like damn near crash and burn. You dip, you ride the thing out, and you come on back up, right? That's how life flows because things keep happening, right? So the point is, spirits are so busy and so frequently seen and heard during this time of the year. If you think about some of the movies they would have, like The Ghost of Christmas Past and the Three Spirits that come to visit you and stuff like that, it just makes me wonder. I'm just like, was it some type of seduction? Was it some kind of seduction, or was it just like art imitates life? And they were just kind of sharing their experiences with you, right? I heard somebody say like the 50s were the time where people were pretending a lot. People were pretending like they were okay because they were coming out of the Great Depression. And yeah, they were coming out of the Great Depression. And so things were better than they used to be, but there still was some brokenness. And, we're dealing with, an era of people that weren't tapped into the psychology or even the sociology of things. They were just making do, right? And a lot of that residue is stuck energy in our ancestors and our spirit guides. And then it's trapped in the DNA of their children, and then us, right? So, again, I'm just here on a curious rant. Um, and I'm going to throw some energy around why spirits are so busy during this time. Um, why are so many meds? I got a theory too that I have, that something about the coldness in the air allows the frequency to flow clear. But I also know that there's just like a lot of celestial things happening in 2023, and right around the time that this video is being made, there's like asteroids and stuff like that, um, that are in the sky. So it's just like it's a lot of frequencies in the air that are being mixed and twisted, right? It's a lot of space station stuff happening with them going up with satellites, with them moving satellites around, stuff like that. So I just want to say it's just like traffic is being rerouted in that kind of way spiritually. And I think there's also with the spiritual shifts. I think it's just like, I don't know, an endless number of possible reasons why it happens, but just acknowledging that it is happening. So I'm gonna throw some energy around that and get on up off this live. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for listening. If you have some comments, some suggestions, some feedback on what you're noticing, I'm just curious if this time of the year, well, let me just say this. If this time of the year makes you sad, if you notice that you're feeling vulnerable and maybe depressed and hurt and sensitive, I pray that you are not isolated. I pray that you are not ashamed to reach out to somebody. I hope that you don't feel powerless and empty or disappointed. And I hope that if you have to ride those feelings out for whatever reason, for whatever choices and consequences that are before you, I pray that you find that there are good people on your journey and that you're a good person, and let these things make you into a good person so that you can experience happiness, so that you can be playful, so you can be content, so you know that you are accepted and you feel peaceful about it, that you're optimistic, and that you become inspired and you become hopeful and you become loving and courageous. You feel respected and you respect others. You feel free. And I hope that life throws some surprises at you that leaves you wondering and excited and amazed, and that you're in awe by how good and how gracious and how beautiful people can be towards each other. I hope that love just shakes down and presses you. And I hope that you are so grateful for every day just because it ends with a Y, that you become overjoyed with gratitude every day. I hope everybody that hears this message experiences some or all of what I just shared. I'm going to take that card because it flips. Explore new ventures. Move forward with confidence. We are with you. That's the message from heaven. The dearly departed want all of us to know that we should explore new ventures, move forward with confidence because they are with us. Know that. That's another message from our dearly departed. Another message from our dearly departed. Why they're so busy during this time of the year. Maybe some of them loved this time of the year. They loved holidays. Maybe they taught us recipes and this kind of stuff. And so this is around the time that they're reminiscing about us. I really truly believe that when they visit us, it's because they love us and they can be in more than one place at a time. They love us. They miss us. They're reminiscing here, thinking about times that they were with us. They want us to know that we are loved and that they are surrounded by love and peace, and they're with the rest of our ancestors, and they're looking down and saying, that one, yeah, love her, love her, love her. She making us proud. He making us proud. They understand their mission. I don't know what the song is. Oh, Alexander O'Neill. Yeah, I'm playing some Christmas songs. And I'm low-key celebrating. You know what I'm celebrating? Life. I'm celebrating the letting go. How sweet that release feel. Just turn the corner and turn the page. And to not be like Lot's wife in the Bible. Don't look back. What's the message from our dearly departed? I'm not on right to any of this music. I'm just enjoying it. There's no such thing as death. Now let's pause. There's two cards out here, so move this deck. There is no such thing as death. I just recently saw this movie called After Death. I went to see this movie because one, I'm an end of life doula, right? So I went to go see this movie because one of my babies died, not my biological baby, but spiritual baby. I was there the day the baby was born. I was the first person to look in his eyes, right? So he's a relative, he's family. So One, I'm an end of life doula. Two, I needed to prepare to deal with this child's funeral. He's 20 years old. He is 20 years old, and he transitioned in October of this year. So, this movie talks about the studies that they've done since 1969, centered around death and dying, and the experiences of people after they die and come back. Right after I say transition, there is no death. They transition. Right, they go back to where we once were before we came here. Right. Okay. So the guy, I forget what he was, what his job was, but he wanted to be. He didn't want to believe it. He wanted to do this study to prove that it was false, that it wasn't true. Cyber toast to my people here and beyond. I haven't poured out some for the ones transitions in a long time. I've been drinking my liquor because I don't drink it often. So I was really interested in seeing how this movie was going to unfold because he wanted to be a skeptic out the gate. He was just like, I fail to believe it's true. I'm looking for ways to punch a hole in everything. If there is no science, it didn't happen. So they found the science behind people that died. Now, they looked at this one fluke happen. But again, they started studying in 1969. The technology has changed drastically. So the study went from 1969 to 2017. So technology has changed drastically, right? So they're able to compare what they had when they started in 1969 up until the 21st century, right? Okay, so this one guy died, and he just happened to be getting an MRI at the time that he died. And they tapped into his brain waves and the part of the brain that was active after he was legally pronounced dead was in alignment with the people that this person didn't come back, but other people that actually came back and the things that they said, it was in alignment with all of those stories. The other thing they said was that all those people that had died and came back, if they had 20 different scenarios about what their experience was, at least 10, or I would say somewhere between 5 to 10 of those experiences were the exact same. It didn't matter what country they were in, it didn't matter what state they were in. They had never spoken to each other, they had never seen each other, they were not aware of the study. And so, for the investigators, the thing was, we cannot deny that this life after death experience is real because there's no way that these people could all have the exact same experience, give or take some of the other variables, right? And I won't get into all of that. But I mentioned all that to say because this is a Dearly Departed video. There's no such thing as death. You transition. Death is just as natural as living. And that's where we were before we came here. There is no such thing as death. It's life. It's the next reiteration of life. Let's see if there's some more clarification on that. No, there's no other clarification on that, but that's what I know. And I'd love for you to tell me what you know. And then we be knowing some stuff together. The other one. Yay! I see all your thoughts. I often wonder that about my mom and dad. I don't have my mom and dad necklace on. I had that off for a while. I've been going to the gym so much, I don't want to lose it or anything. So I see all of your thoughts. Well, I'll just say the movie that I saw did not tap into that aspect of it, but they were talking about moving around. They were talking about moving around on the other side. So I'm cool with with that, seeing my thoughts, I work very hard, and it gets easier to keep your heart as light as a feather. To keep your heart as light as a feather, so your thoughts are pure. But you have your ups and downs, your ebbs and flows, and I appreciate the intervention that I get when I start to go low and I end up not staying there and I start to go higher. I attribute that to my own maturity, but most definitely to my spirit team. I really appreciate that because it's all love over there. Mm, there's an exception. The ones that died in addictions, they had some very different experiences. And an addiction doesn't have to be a drug addiction or alcohol addiction. The addiction can be a cycle of abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse that they've endured, and they live tormented. They live tormented, so they die tormented. And that's where that whole concept of hell comes from. One of the concepts of hell come from. I'll just say that. I'll say that. So, dearly departed, um, we want to tune in to our dearly departed at this high season that they are very active and busy and reminiscing and visiting us and we visiting them, and maybe that's got a lot to do with it because we're ushering them in. We're thinking about their smiles and we're eating food and remembering, watching movies and remembering, whether it's actual movies that they were in or movies, videos, home videos or whatever that they were in, or it's because of the frailty of losing people and knowing that they're going to be with our other loved ones. They're going to meet them right there and be hugging them and showing them the ropes, right? So how do we tune in? As we tune in during the season, give us a message. Give us a message, dear. Oh, I should say, as we tune in, give us some support to tune in to. Give us some support to tune in to. I haven't done videos in so long, my hands have been tired just from shuffling. Why won't you? I think I just threw that out there. That's what I believe. Let's talk. So our spirit guides are saying, let's talk. What's unsaid? So when our loved ones say that they're fine, look for the context to see what that really means. There might be an unspoken, I'm overwhelmed or I'm scared. We're used to using body language and tone for context in our conversations with others. Do you examine your internal conversations for what is left unsaid? Your racing heart might lead you to insight you've been missing. The thought that you're not giving voice to might be exactly what you need to address. Get curious and seek context. There are gifts waiting in what's unspoken. So I don't know what you're getting from that, but what I'm getting, especially with the visits, well, my visits are very clear. But I guess if I start to be consistent with journaling like I should, I can see what's unsaid because those visits, applying this to the spiritual realm as well in the natural, to our beloved that are still with us, look at what's being unsaid, what's unsaid, and that there are gifts in the unspoken. So when I use this in the context of a visit, Sometimes when I get a visit, it's telepathy. They don't say anything. I just can tell from their presence, what energy and what the conversation is like. And so then I take the lead in the conversation. Then that person will come back and have a conversation, and say what's unsaid, or their gestures or what they do when they come visit. It's the same in the natural. We have to watch what's unsaid in the natural and in the spirit realms and tune in to the gifts that are being presented to us that are not spoken. I hope this video blesses you. I thank you for stopping by my live. And please leave a comment, and we'll have to do this again soon. I love you all so much. And until real soon.